Secretary of State Marco Rubio, in addition to defending and advancing that, also joined with Elon Musk this weekend in a bizarre attack on our ally Poland. I mean, just for context here, many observers believe that after Trump gives Putin free rein to do what he wants in his war in Ukraine, Putin will keep going and push into Georgia in the south, which he already invaded in 2008. In the southwest, he's already got a big footprint in Moldova. He appears to be aggressively meddling in the government and elections of Romania already. And of course, due west of Ukraine, sharing a long land border with Ukraine, is our very close ally, Poland. This weekend, President Trump's top campaign donor, Elon Musk, tweeted insults at the foreign minister in Poland and bragged about how Ukraine would collapse without what he called my Starlink system. My Starlink system. That's his satellite internet terminals that are widely used in Ukraine and that Poland mostly pays for. Secretary of State Marco Rubio then jumped in on that and demanded that the Polish foreign minister should say thank you to Elon Musk. You know, and there's a lot to say about this radical 180-degree shift the United States is currently making, switching sides in the world and in the war to join Russia and turn against our allies. I mean, Poland has just announced that it's now going to require every adult male in the country to undergo military training, and they are going to more than double the size of their army. And that is not because they're trying to make anybody feel impressed about their defense spending. It's because they're expecting to soon be at war with Russia because they're expecting Russia to invade them. France has announced that now that the United States no longer appears to be allied with Europe, and it has been our nuclear umbrella that has been seen as the primary nuclear defense of Europe, President Emmanuel Macron of France is now saying that since the United States no longer appears to be allied with Europe, it may have to be France that posts its nuclear weapons as protection all over Europe now. They're talking about wildly expanding the nuclear deterrent afforded by France in Europe. Both Poland and Germany are also now talking about getting their own nuclear weapons. Oh, good. Trump has meanwhile just cut our support for nuclear nonproliferation detectives all over the globe. These are the people who hunt for those who are trying to illicitly acquire nuclear weapons or materials. They work all over the world, including Iran. Trump has just cut our funding for those activities. Wired magazine reports that Trump and Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon are about to cut 75% of the Defense Department programs that aim to stop proliferation of nuclear weapons, as well as chemical and biological weapons. NBC News reports tonight that Trump additionally is just going to fire 8 to 10% of all the generals and admirals at the senior levels of the United States military, because sure, why not? That one he's going to put a bow on when he delivers it to Red Square, I think, right? That one's extra special. But amid all the things going on with our flipping sides and us now berating and hurting our previous allies, while we take very, very ambitious steps to destroy not only our alliances, but our own military power, our intelligence relationships, and our own economy. While we're doing that, right? Gutting the U.S. federal government, hurting the military, hurting our intelligence relationships, ruining our alliances, and trashing the economy. While we're busy with all of those things, there's just one other thing that kind of, I think, brings all sides of the news today together. Remember at the top I said stick a pin in that? I mentioned that there's this new reporting on the impact of what Trump and Musk are doing at the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. Amid all these plane crashes and the crisis they are causing by firing all the people who keep the planes in the sky. At the Atlantic magazine, Isaac Stanley Becker reports on a SpaceX employee who has now been installed at the FAA, quote, to deploy equipment from Starlink across the FAA's communication network. Starlink, of course, Elon Musk's satellite internet terminals company. The directive, quote, promises to make the nation's air traffic control system dependent on Elon Musk, using equipment that experts say has not gone through strict U.S. government security and risk management review. So just put those two things together. Well, we've got, this weekend, Elon Musk threatening our ally Poland, which is more than doubling its army, talking about nuclear weapons, and preparing to be invaded by Russia. We've got Elon Musk threatening them, saying, you know, my Starlink system, my system, is what is determining the course of the war right now. So be quiet, small man. He actually said that. Be quiet, small man. It's my technology, my Starlink system that is deciding the war. I'm the one. And while we've got Musk behaving that way against one of our allies when it comes to Starlink, we apparently are simultaneously giving over all U.S. airspace to Starlink as well by letting him take over U.S. air traffic control technology at the FAA, installing his own company in place of the companies that have been cleared by the FAA to provide that technology. Not to put too fine a point on it, but as noted today at The Atlantic, quote, Starlink presents many risks, said one expert. Quote, part of the risk is that Musk could simply choose to switch the devices off. If Starlink runs American airspace, because that's what Donald Trump is letting his top campaign donor do, that gives Elon Musk the ability to shut down American airspace at will. Because after all, Starlink is my Starlink system, according to him, and he can do with it what he wants. Now Donald Trump says that's what's going to run air traffic control in the United States. Seem like a good idea?